warm you up for the Saturday showdown, and we've got some really good ones on Saturday. In fact, that's the cue for our next guest and somebody who I love chopping it up with. I'm really looking forward to this interview. And if you check out his YouTube channel, as I alluded to earlier in the show, The Film Guy, I mean, he is just cranking out content left and right. He's all over it. And I know he's got his finger on the pulse, especially when it comes to the Georgia Bulldogs. So I'm going to welcome him onto the show right now. He is Austin Brooks, and we welcome him to the All Access Football Daily Show. Austin, what's happening, my man?
Hey, man, I'm doing well. How are you today, bud?
I'm doing good, man. I really appreciate the YouTube channel, everything you got going on, and a little bit of motivation. I see the back wall, the inspirational quotes, man. I just love it. I need some inspiration today, so thank you for joining us here.
Hey, no doubt about it. No promises on the inspiration, but I'll bring the juice. There's no doubt about that. There's no doubt about that.
I know it. I know you will. And I wanted to pop you on here because the Georgia Bulldogs have a big test here against the Tennessee Volunteers. And, you know, they've won quite handedly in recent years. I think double-digit points in the last consecutive 8 seasons, something to that effect. But Tennessee's offense is high-flying. I think they got the second-ranked offense, 605 yards a game. Georgia's got a top-ranked defense. So who better to chop it up and break it down than with you? And I don't know, like, where do you want to start with this big-time matchup? We'll start on the Georgia side of the ball. Who are some key players that you're keeping an eye on here?
Oh, I got a list of guys. You're a draft show, right? I just heard you spitting out a bunch of draft takes. Let me give you some guys. All right, these are all box players, okay? These are all line of scrimmage and linebacker athletes, okay? Chris Cole, number 9, is a hybrid linebacker edge rusher. He's going to be a 10-sack guy and a 60-tackle guy by the time he leaves the University of Georgia. I think he'll be a first-round draft pick. All of the things that Jalen Carter lacked in terms of height, weight, and speed, this kid's got it. This kid's 6'3.5". This kid's, I mean, I would say closer to 6'4". He's 230 pounds, runs like a deer, and now's learning how to rush the passer. Like, covered wide receivers in high school when they needed him, go out there and play bump and run corner. This is the type of movement skills. As a true freshman, Georgia used him in the slot to cover really good tight ends when they split out. Okay, that's how good he was as a true freshman. Now, he's their specialty pass rusher on obvious passing downs, and he's getting home. So watch out for him. Juan Gaston's played 17 snaps. That's all I need to see. He's going to be a first-round draft pick. He's 6'8". He's 360 pounds. He doesn't even have his man muscles yet, and he's murdering people, okay? He was so good at the University of Georgia in 15 practices in the spring and fall camp that he beat out a top 100 prospect in Daniel Calhoun and another top 100 prospect in Michael Unai. Like that. He's going to be the next one at the University of Georgia. Monroe Freeling, they think is Joe Alt. I'm pumping the brakes on that. I don't think he's that good yet, but he's damn good. He's going to be a top 32 pick at the left tackle position. Elijah Griffin is a kid that they have been telling me about since he was 14 years old down in Savannah, Georgia. Okay, they have been talking about Elijah Griffin being, quote, the next Jalen Carter since he was 14 years old. He's been playing through 2 games, and I think he's 90% of Jalen Carter without the spit, if you know what I mean. Quintavious Johnson, okay, Quintavious Johnson is an edge rusher for them. This is a high school quarterback, guys. He was 6'5", 250 pounds. He's a 4'6" athlete. I watched the NFL draft Robert Beal out of this place in the 4th round, and he had no tape. Quintavious Johnson's going to have all the tape by the time he leaves this place. I think he'll be a top 60 pick. Kristen Miller is probably going to be one of the first 5 defensive tackles drafted this year. What's that? That makes you a top 90 pick. That makes you a top 70 pick in today's NFL draft. I watched a singular game of true freshman Donald Glover, and I'm going to tell you right now, that kid's better than the guards that are starting right now that left Georgia as a true freshman. He walked into Georgia and figured it out. He just got there in the summer. He's got an opportunity to start week 3 on the road against Tennessee. Dontrell Glover. Dontrell Glover. Remember the name. Not Lethal Weapon. My bad. I'm too old for this stuff. Dontrell Glover. Okay. Yeah. A dude. Now, I just rattled off 7 football players. By the way, 6 of which are underclassmen. Unbelievable. 3 of which are true freshmen that I think are going to be top 70 draft picks, all on the line of scrimmage. That Georgia's getting back to what it was, I think, several years ago, where we're spitting out, You look up and you're like, damn, Georgia just spit out 6 first-round line of scrimmage players. I think it's going to get like that pretty soon.
Man, I'll tell you, I don't know how Kirby does it because I saw there's 11 5-star recruits on this roster and probably about 20 4-star recruits. I mean, there's blue chippers all over the place.
Look, I'm waiting until the end of the season and because it's more of an off-season study, but I've been talking to scouting directors and scouting departments, and we have data on this at this point since Kirby's been there, right? Like, you run the numbers on where the 5 stars go and what the hit rates are on those 5 stars. It's not just getting them, it's developing them, right? It's turning them back out into better football players because they don't all hit, right? The first round hit rate's 50%. The 5-star hit rate's probably got to be like 30%, 40%. It's got to be less than that because we're talking about 17-year-olds, not 22-year-olds, all right? Where it's a much higher variance. Not at Georgia. Not at Georgia. You talk about them 11 5-stars. Ain't many of them sitting on the bench at the University of Georgia. Most of them are playing, which means most of them are hitting. They're good football players. They're great evals. And it's not always like that at other universities.
Yeah, I personally think Kirby Smart is the top recruiter in the game. Now, obviously, NIL can play a factor, and Phil Knight, he's got $50 million laying around over at Oregon, and Texas Tech seems to suddenly pull out money out of the blue, and that'll have a factor. But when it just comes to recruiting talent, I mean, I don't think pound for pound there's anybody better than Kirby.
And he's been like that for 15 years now, man. Like he was Saban's sniper for a long time. You go back and look at those that 2009 to really like 2015 run. Alabama is the juggernaut, and not just on football grass, but like on recruiting grounds. And it's because their defensive coordinator is a lunatic. He was a lunatic at Alabama. He's a lunatic at Georgia. He's obsessed. He's a sicko fan. He's all of those things. And he's a great relationships builder. So something about that guy, man. I've never been around someone. And look, I run small businesses now, like as a content creator. We got people that work for us. I have no idea how he's able to manage at the rate that he does at the I'm in your face. I'm angry, like anger management all the time. Yeah. And people are just like, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Like eventually you would think they're like, bro, I'm sick and tired of this dude. Like, bro, he walks around practice for 2 hours with a microphone screaming over the loudspeaker. When he mother F's somebody, the whole town of Athens can hear it. It's booming everywhere. And like that's very special and unique about him, man. With that, like, it doesn't get old. Like if you do that, any other person tries to do what he has done, you are going to burn everybody out so fast. Dude, he's got a defensive line coach in Trey Scott that is sworn up and down on everything he loves. He ain't leaving this place. He's been here since 2016, was one of the first hires. Glenn Schumann has turned down jobs left and right. He turned down the defensive coordinator job with the Eagles to stay in Athens, to coach for a maniac. All right, his tight ends coach, Todd Hartley, has been here since 2016. All right, I don't think his offensive coordinator's leaving him. It's his best friend. Will Muschamp has come out of retirement to just sit in meeting rooms and shoot the shit with these guys. Like, it's a very unique thing he's got going on down there. There's no doubt.
That's unbelievable. I want to ask you a question, and you may or may not know. And you mentioned Alabama, and I wonder if this is part of the reason why Saban got out. But I did see a report floating around this week stating that Alabama has like less than $20 million in their NIL kitty. I'm just curious to know, do you have any pulse on what the Georgia collective looks like? Do you think that's accurate in terms of Alabama? What's your
difference there? The difference between the two is that Georgia's discount still applies, right? Georgia's promo code of we win championships and we got one of the best football coaches in America. That promo code and discount code still applies at the University of Georgia. It don't apply at Alabama. So, yeah, the greatest coach of all time leaves, which means you got to go start paying players. Hey, breaking news. If Kirby Smart retires or goes to the NFL tomorrow, Georgia's up a creek without a paddle because they're going to have to go figure out how to buy players like everybody else. Yeah. Like we live in a world of college football now where it's a player acquisition sport. Acquisition, purchases. You got to go out and buy them. But also, like, I don't want to hear nothing about this because they're recruiting pretty damn well in 2026 right now. Like, they recruited well in 2025. They still got a blue chip roster. They're fine What they got to worry about is effort, consistent gap assignment football, consistent execution. Why is Caden Proctor playing at 375 pounds? Anybody got an answer to that one? You cover the NFL. You cover the NFL draft. How many premier 6'5.5" offensive tackles are living on Sundays 45 pounds overweight? All of them are 330 pounds. All of them. So you're the unicorn? You're the guy that gets to play at 375? Those are the questions that I would be asking. Not what, like, do we have enough money? Buddy, you got blue chippers everywhere. Y'all got one of the best rosters in America, and you lost by 17 when you were favored by 14 because the backside safety's loafing on the 17th play of the football game. And we want to talk about roster money? No, don't bring me that. Don't bring me that. Don't bring me none of that. Bring me corrections. Don't bring me, I ain't got enough money. Bullcrap. You got enough talent. I see it. It's all over the place. You going to see it when they're drafted on Sunday too?
Talking to Austin Brooks, the film guy, he said he's going to bring the juice. He wasn't lying, folks. Make sure you check out his YouTube channel. He's live Monday through Thursday, 8 to 10 p.m. Eastern time, so you can shift gears from the AM to the PM, from All Access Football to the film guy. Now, we're talking Georgia, and we'll get to Tennessee, but we've got a lot of guys still yet to cover because talking about the portal, how about these Branch brothers coming over from USC, the Zorros, Zakira and Zion, they both made an impact here early on.
Yeah, Zach Branch, the slot receiver, he's an NFL football player. He was a blue chip prospect coming out of high school. I actually have a buddy that coached against him in high school. Says he's the best football player ever. I think he scored a touchdown in every form and facet you can in high school in one game. I think he had a punt return, a kick return, offensive reception touchdown, a carry for a touchdown, a throw for a touchdown, a pick six, and a fumble recovery.
Damn. Yeah.
He was a 5-star at 5. He was a 5-star at 5'8". That tells you how good of an athlete this guy is with the ball in his hand. And he was that the first 3 games at USC. Now, here's the problem about Zach, and he will never be a first-round draft pick because of this. The catch radius is really, really small. Like, we're 5'8". We got really short arms. We can't really catch it outside the framework of our body. USC fans thought he had a drop problem last year because of this. He has decent hands. The problem is the catch radius is so small, and every corner you play against nowadays, whether it be in SEC or Power 4 football or going up onto Sundays, they're all 6 foot plus. They're all long and rangy unless their name's Kamari Lassiter and they're the best athlete on the field. If that's the case, you've got to get him the ball without bodies around him. And that's what Georgia's doing a good job of right now. You mentioned Zion Branch. Man, he was really, really banged up at USC. All right, he had a good spring, but I don't know if he ain't playing a whole lot right now. And I don't know where he's at in that pecking order. It looks like right now they play 2 safeties like most people at Georgia. Some college teams are playing 3 safeties nowadays. I don't know if you're paying attention to that. But anyways, they got 2 safeties. KJ Bolden's one of them, and he ain't coming off the field. And then the other one right now is Kyron Jones. And he must have done something right because he's playing with a damn hornet's nest on his hand, and they ain't subbing him out. So they ain't really worried about him making plays on the football. He's practiced well enough to be out there one-handed and beating Zion Branch. And it's not just him. It's Adrian Maddox, a UAB All-American last year that ain't really playing a whole lot right now. It's Jaden Harris, who transferred from Miami, who ain't playing a whole lot right now. It's Ja'Cory Thomas, an in-house 4-star that ain't playing a whole lot right now because Kyron Jones is back there playing.
Good stuff. Zakaya Branch, the wide receiver, I have him here expected to run in the 4.3s, but you make a valid point with the
quicker than fast. I don't know. 4.3s means you got quickness and long speed, right? I don't know if Zach's got that. He's going to run 4.42, and the 10 split's going to be some astronomical thing, and he's probably going to have the fastest 5.10.5 split at the combine. He is he reminds me of almost like Tank Dell with muscles. If I gave you Tank Dell and put a muscle package on him, that's Zach Branch. It's Zachariah, by the way, Zach Branch. And I'm Brooks Austin. I didn't mean to fix you, but yeah. Austin Brooks
I'm
Austin.
So sorry, Brooks.
Hey, wait until I tell you my middle name. Wait until I tell you my middle name is Thomas, dude. Wait until I tell you my middle name is Thomas. It's all jacked up. I could be Austin Thomas Brooks, Thomas Brooks Austin, Brooks Thomas Austin, which ironically is the most unlikely combination of the 3. but yet what my parents decided on. It's not your problem. It's my mama's fault.
Well, Brooks, I've been told to watch out with people with 2 first names. You've got 3 first names.
3.
Watch out for Brooks Austin here on the All Access Football Show. All right. I was going to say, being the nephew of Cliff Branch, Pro Football Hall of Famer, NFL bloodlines, it doesn't hurt either. Now, a couple other guys I want to ask you about, like Ernest Green. I really love his film from last year. He's a little bit shorter than the prototypical tackle, but he does have 34-inch arms. So the length is there. The height might not be there. I love his film, but there's not a lot of people as high on him as I am. What's your take on Ernest Green III?
Yeah, it's tough. Like, I think a lot of people are going to get into the bad habit of saying, oh, he could be a good convert to guard. Y'all aren't watching that kid play. He don't have a lot of anchor, to be honest with you. He does not have a lot of, I can move you off the spot. So the idea, he's a body guard type with tackle play style. And that's really, really tough. And he doesn't have the foot speed of like an Isaiah Wynn, who fits that category, right? Coming out of this same program several years ago, 6'3 1/4, long arms, really quick feet, stays in front of people, played in the league for 6 or 7 years. I don't know if he's still on a roster, but lived, right? Survived for a while at that body type. Ernest, the tape last year wasn't as good as the tape from redshirt freshman year, because you like the tape. He was playing without one arm last year. He basically tore his rotator cuff early on in the year, was playing with one of them shoulder slings, really couldn't fire that outside hand. And his edges got compromised because of it. All right. There was a couple of times, specifically Ole Miss, if you go watch that tape, he's kind of getting ran around upfield because we have no ability to get that upfield arm engaged. So I am curious. And he started the year this year banged up. All right. So we had shoulder problems last year. We came in with a back thing. I think the back thing's firing back up right now. We got back spasms is what it sounds like to me. We got nerve things going on in our back right now. So there's that. And by the way, there's a 6'10" dude hanging out on Georgia's roster right now. I don't know if you know this. His name's Ja Jackson. He's a former high school basketball player. Actually played AAU basketball for LeBron James. He's a monster. If he just figures out how to play football, holy hell. There's that. They got some options there. He's playing tackle. He's playing tackle. And I kind of gave him some crap last week on the channel because he was a little lazy in play action, right? Like letting our feet die, letting our hands die, letting people, oh, crap, it's past. Now I'm going to engage. Well, if he's playing and you're not, you're giving up a pressure. Well, come to find out he played the whole game with like an ankle injury. So that was good news to me because when basketball converts come over to football, the number one thing we question is toughness, right? Are you a football player? Do you have a football player's mindset? Sounds like that's clicking for him, which was the last infinity stone for someone who's got all of the traits in the world. Like I said, 6'10", 360, moves like fairly well for a football player that size.
Yeah, Liam Fornadell is one of those guys hanging out in the NFL. So, all right, Austin, we're up against it here on the time. We didn't get deep into Tennessee. Jermod McCoy, I guess, is the big name, but he's not going to be playing.
Yeah, I'll give you some. I'll spit them out for you, though. Arian Carter, number 7, linebacker. He's great. I think he's an NFL body type, too. Real long, rangy, physical, covers the 53.5. Okay, he's really, really good. Anthony Josephs, all right, the edge rusher. Maybe it's Joshua Josephs. I always flip that up. Yeah. Number 19, okay. He was taking snaps from James Pierce last year, and not just because James was tired. All right, he was taking snaps from a first-rounder last year. He's really, really good. Ty Redmond, the true freshman corner, 6'3", long, rangy. They think he's like they call defense like they think the damn true freshman is Darrelle Revis. So just watch that. I would be paying attention to that. From the Tennessee side of the football. And they have a true freshman 5-star offensive tackle, David Sanders, got NFL pedigree. I think we might see him this weekend. I don't know if I would. He's been hurt the first 2 weeks. I don't know if I would make your first impressions on a college football field against Georgia. But if he swims on Saturday, he's a shark. You know what I mean?
I love it. I'm down here at the Jersey Shore, so we appreciate that analogy, Brooks. And Man, you are a fountain of information. When I get my future general manager job, you're going to be my first phone call as my top guy. Just incredible information. Tell the listening audience at home, the Film Guy live Monday through Thursday, 8 to 10 p.m. Eastern. Give them a little taste of what's on tap.
Yeah, no, you just nailed it. That's us. We do a lot of content over there. If you love college football, we're the place to be. But if you love football in general, I know it's a draft podcast. Like, we're breaking down players every week ad nauseum. Okay, we do 5 or 6 film studies every single week, 5 hours of live coverage or film study coverage on top of the almost 11 hours of live coverage on our network. It's the place to be during college football season. There's no doubt. Appreciate you for having me, man, for sure.
Dude, this was outstanding, and look forward to talking with you down the road somewhere in the near future, my man. Awesome.
No doubt. Be good.
That's Brooks Thomas Austin coming in hot.